Welcome everyone to Meld. Today, AMD's full Ryzen 3000 series product stack seems to have leaked, and a benchmark with two unannounced products have been found. But first, check out today's sponsor, Massdrop. They're a group buy website with some amazing deals on gaming hardware. It's free to sign up, and they've got new deals all the time, so check that out in the description below. So a little while back, I quickly went over a Russian site that outlets were saying had leaked out AMD's Ryzen 3000 series processors. As I mentioned then, outlets were calling it a retailer, but it isn't. It's actually just a list of products with links to retailers. On every product page, it even lets you know that the information shown is for reference only. Basically, they shouldn't have any inside data that no one else has since they don't actually sell the products themselves. With all of that said, today's leak is different because it's an actual retailer. The Singaporean retailer Bizgram published a product catalog, and in it they listed 10 3rd-gen Zen 2 based Ryzen 3000 series CPUs. What's interesting is that they also listed the pricing, but keep in mind that these early prices are usually inflated for the early buyer's rush. Still, they're really not bad at all, though I'll say that while I converted them to US dollars, that isn't going to be an exact retail price with different countries' taxes, incentives, etc. I'll also say that these are pretty similar to Adored TV's leak, so they could have mostly just gone off of that, at least when it comes to the names. Still, this is certainly interesting. First, we've got the Ryzen 3 3300 for $112. We've got both the 3300X and 3300G for $145. And speaking of the 3300G, since we're seeing it so soon, their next generation desktop APUs may be releasing very close to their CPU counterparts. Then there's the Ryzen 5 3600 for $200, the Ryzen 5 3600X for around $255, the Ryzen 5 3600G for $220, Ryzen 7 3700 for $335, the Ryzen 7 3700X coming in at $370, then the originally rumored Ryzen 9 3800X for $505, which I'll stop here and say it makes a lot of sense that they're bringing the 3800X back, but under the Ryzen 9 moniker because they took it out for last generation's Ryzen 7. So they can claim they felt the 800 was best for its own lineup. And given they do add more cores, which if the pricing is right, this likely does prove it, that makes even more sense because the 1800X was more or less a pointless CPU, since for over $100 less you could get the 1700 with nearly identical performance with overclocking. Lastly is the Ryzen 9 3850X for $560. Now, over $500 obviously sounds like a lot, but remember that these are rumored to be 16-core 32-thread CPUs. And if that is the case, $500 is basically a steal. Let's just hope all of this is true. Lastly for today, Tom Apisak shared a benchmark that contained two unannounced products. Yes, two products. The benchmark comes from 3DMark's database, and as you can see, it has the Intel Core i7-9750H, a 6-core 12-thread 14nm Infinity Plus CPU, and NVIDIA's upcoming GTX 1650 GPU. When it comes to the CPU, you can see it has quite an impressive boost clock of 4.29 GHz. I mean, don't forget that we're talking a laptop here and a 6-core CPU. The last thing it shows us is on the GPU, and it proves that the 1650 will in fact come with 4GB RAM, which is something I'm once again thoroughly confused about, since the 1660 is rumors and leaks showing that there's a model that comes with 3GB. If that made zero sense when they did it with Pascal, it makes even less sense now. Either way, while the benchmark doesn't show the type of RAM, most outlets seem to suggest it's GDDR5, which makes sense given there's really no need for the more expensive GDDR6. So while that does it for today, what Ryzen CPU are you most excited for? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked the video, definitely make sure to subscribe. And as always, have a great day.